Good day, colleagues. My name is Possible, and I'll be your tutor for today. Today, we are going to look at 2016 past question on subject verb agreement, which is also known as Concord. Please, you can take a screenshot of the question, read it, and try it yourself before you come and look at the answer. So I will project the question. Make sure to take a screenshot. Again, you can also pick up your pen, your jotter, or your notebook and then be solving it after me. Lessons on this topic has been made available on the YouTube platform. It was being categorized into lesson 1 and lesson 2. Lesson 1 is the basis and lesson 2 is the application of the basis. Make sure to watch lesson 1 and lesson 2 before you come and watch this lesson. Quickly, let us dive into it. So for the next few minutes, I'm going to be your tutor, and my name is Possible. Now, the year 2016, mostly subject-verb agreement falls under section B, or the second part of the paper. And then mostly the first part, or section A, is the outline. So the question says that the following passage contains errors. Identify and correct them. You do not need to copy the entire passage. It means that when you copy the entire passage, you do so at your own detriment. You are wasting your time. And then sometimes if you don't take it, they could penalize you for that. So that is how it is. Listen to the rules or the instructions and follow them accordingly. Let us read the question together. You can take a screenshot, read it over and over, and try it yourself before you check the answers. The computer, as well as the internet and other advanced electronic devices, are becoming essential in everyday life and have changed the way information is gathered. How this new technology is utilized in the curriculum, in addition to its management by teachers, play an important role in the widening of the resources and knowledge base of all students. Technology affects the way many teachers and students learn. To make the best use of information technology, a number of schools need a workable plan to fully integrate it into all aspects of the curriculum. The skill a child learns are the important parts of any lessons, and it is the same with technology. The child no less than his or her teachers required to be fully informed about the capabilities of IT before being asked to use it. There is strategies for using IT to teach students. The usefulness of IT in the classroom, as with other learning tools, depend on the innovation and imagination of the teacher. The current information explosion make it essential that IT be used extensively within the classroom so that children know how to use it appropriately and effectively. Now, I've used few minutes, less than 3 minutes, to finish reading the entire passage. I keep on telling you that this is the strategy that you have to use. The strategy of reducing the number of minutes that you use to read the passage, so that the rest of the minutes you could spend them on fishing out the necessary information or the answers. I'm going back so that we analyze it before we come and solve it. The computer, as well as the internet. If you look at this part, I have told you, lesson 2, I told you that you can either play with lesson 2. You can decide not to take it serious, but trust me, lesson 2, whether you like it or yes, at least you get 4 of the rules in every question. Lesson 2. The computer as well as the internet. Don't forget pseudo conjunction. The rule of pseudo conjunction says that the subject that comes before the pseudo conjunction must be the one to determine the nature of the verb. Don't forget. Proximity says that the subject nearer to the verb, proximate, the subject nearer to the verb must determine the nature of the verb. But pseudo conjunction says that the subject that comes before the pseudo conjunction, together with as well as in the company of with, this must be the subject that comes before these pseudo conjunctions must determine the nature of the verb. So the computer is the subject as well as the internet. So we use the computer to determine the nature of the verb. And other advanced electronic devices are becoming essential in everyday life. And half. What are we talking about? We are talking about the computer. The computer as well as the internet and other advanced. You see that they have added a lot of stuff. So look at where the thing has come, the verb and then whatsoever. It says that and have changed. So pay attention. The way information is gathered, how this new technology is utilized in the curriculum, in addition to its management by teachers, play. How this technology is utilized in the curriculum, in addition to its management, in addition to pseudo conjunction, in addition to pseudo conjunction. Now we could see that even the first part, pseudo conjunction, has like repeated itself twice. How this new technology is utilized in the curriculum in addition to its management by teachers. By teachers. Play, the verb, play an important role in the widening of the resources and knowledge base of all students. Technology affects the way many teaches and students learn. To make the best use of information technology, which is IT, a number of schools, a number of fixed expression, a number of, and then I also spoke about the number of. Don't forget. So a number of schools needs a workable plan to fully integrate it into all aspects of the curriculum. The skill a child learns are the important parts of any lessons, and it is the same with technology. The child, no less than his or her teachers, required to be fully informed about the capabilities of IT before asked to use it. There is, when we use there, you look at the next, let me say the subject after the verb. Is it plural? If it is plural, then there, the subject, the verb will be plural. If the subject after the verb is plural, then the verb will be plural. So there is strategies. Strategies is plural. So you can't say there is strategy. Say there are. Good. For using IT to teach students, the usefulness of IT in the classroom, as with other pseudo conjunction, very critical. As with other learning tools, the usefulness of IT in the classroom. I told you the subject that comes before the pseudo conjunction. So the usefulness of IT in the classroom, IT in the classroom. As with other learning tools, so we will use IT. IT. That one comes before the pseudo conjunction as with. So the verb, where is the verb? The usefulness of IT in the classroom as with other learning tools depend. So IT is singular subject. So the verb depend will be depends on the innovation and imagination of the teacher. The current information explosion make. You see there is make. So it's going to be mix. It's essential that IT be used extensively within the classroom so that children know how to use IT appropriately and effectively. So we have taken our time to go through the question. Let us now solve the question appropriately. So don't forget what I told you. I told you that anytime you are solving a question under subject-verb agreement, we look at the subject and then we look at the verb. And the next question is there any agreement between these two? If there is no agreement between the subject and the verb, then we make sure to correct the verb for it to suit, for it to match, for it to correlate and relate to the subject. We do not change the subject, rather we change the verb. And then per the question says that do not copy the entire passage. There is no need to copy it. It means that we are going to use method 1. We have two methods that we use. Method 1 is whereby there is no need to copy the entire passage. Method 2 is called rewrite method. Sorry. Though the rewrite method is the one that is sometimes nice. It makes the work look nice. But it actually wastes time. It wastes time. And then because of that, they don't normally admonish students to go by that method. I hope it makes sense. Nice one. So learn how to go by method 1. It's so simple. And then you finish it early. So if method 2, this is the instruction on the marking scheme. If a candidate copies the passage but is able to provide the appropriate solution, accept and reward accordingly. I hope it makes sense. So this is what they normally add to the marking scheme. It means that when you use method 2, they are going to accept it, and then they are going to, sometimes if you don't take care, they will not accept it. So stick to the instruction. That is what I mean. However, if there is no instruction, I would advise you to go for method 1 because it is the simplest method ever. Let us now move on. When you look at the question says, the computer are becoming. I told you to screenshot the passage. So screenshot the passage and go back and look at it. The question is, the computer are becoming. This is how we answer it. The computer, ... because something came before are coming. In between the computer and are coming, I told you that we are interested in the subject and the verb. The subject and the appropriate verb. So what comes between them, we don't care. So the computer, you can add a lot of stars. There could be a lot of stars between the computer and are coming. But our focus is on the subject and the verb. You can even forget the becoming here. You can do the computer, ... are ... I hope it makes sense. The computer, ... are ... You can do that. I hope it makes sense. The correct answer is the computer is becoming. The computer is a singular subject and thereby must correspond with a singular verb. Are, a singular verb is. So computer is a singular subject and must correlate or correspond with a singular verb is. The next one is the computer have changed. The reason why I end with dot dot, it means that the sentence does not end there. It continues before it ends somewhere. So in between the computer and have changed, there are other sentences. And then have changed, it means, and then dot dot after the have changed means that there are other sentences. The sentence does not end right away at have changed. I hope it means you can learn these techniques. However, it is not important. You can write the computer and then dot dot have changed and then you correct it. That's all. Nice one. So the correct one is the computer has. The computer is a singular subject and therefore must take a singular verb, has. How this new technology is utilized, plays. How this new technology is utilized, dot 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 dot, plays. And we are saying that how this new technology is utilized, play. Let us go back and look at what that portion is talking about. I want us to go and watch it carefully. How this new technology, let us go and watch it carefully, that portion. Okay, the computer as well as the internet and other advanced electronic devices are becoming essential in everyday life and have changed the way information is gathered. How this new technology is utilized in the curriculum in addition to its management by teachers, play an important role in the widening of the resources. Oh, okay. So look at it. How this new technology is utilized. They use play. They use play without S. Please look at it carefully. They use play without S, but it is a pseudo conjunction. How this new technology is utilized in the curriculum in addition. So it means that the subject is new technology. The new technology, how it is utilized in the curriculum. So it is going to be place. We will add S to the play so that to be place. So per the question, there is going to be the solution. There is going to be a little adjustment here. Look at it carefully. How this new technology is utilized. So per the question is going to be play. So this one, there is no S. How this new technology is utilized, play. So cancel the S, play. Cancel the S, play. And then the answer is going to be how this new technology is utilized. Then you add S to it, place. So the appropriate answer is how this new technology is utilized, place. So it means that the correct answer is the one at the top. And then the mistake is the bolded one. Bolded one is the mistake. How this new technology is utilized, play, is the wrong one. And then the correct one is how this new technology is utilized, place. Thank you for that. The next one, you see that when I was typing it, I did a mistake. But because I understand the principle, I got to know that no, it is not supposed to be like this. So understand the principle. If you understand the principle, you can challenge anyone whom you will be confronted with. Many teachers teaches. And then we are saying that one is wrong. Many teachers teach. Teachers is a plural subject, thereby I must take a plural verb, teach. Quickly, let us look at this one. We are still on method 1, whereby there's no need to copy the entire passage. A number of schools needs fixed expressions. I taught you a number of schools needs is going to be a number of schools need. A number of schools need. Because according to the rule, a number of and then the number of, we said that a number of, they take plural verb, and then the number of takes singular verb. The number of singular, a number of plural. So you have to understand it once and for all. The skill are, it's not like that. It's going to be the skill is. The skill is. It's the skills are. We don't say the skill are. No. So it's the skill is. The child require. It's not supposed to be the child require. It's supposed to be the child requires. Add s. And then there is strategies. We don't say there is strategies. There are strategies. I think at your end you have even chuckled. You said, this one there is strategies. No, there are strategies. The usefulness depend. The usefulness depend. The usefulness is a singular subject and must therefore agree with a singular verb, which depends. You add s. So the usefulness depends. Do the correct thing. It is a typing mistake. The usefulness depends. Add s to the depend. The usefulness depends. I'm repeating it. Add s to the depend. It's a typing mistake. The usefulness depends. Depends. Good. You add s to the depend. Because the depend is a singular subject and must therefore agree with a singular verb. Depends. The current information explosion make. The current information explosion make. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be like this. The current information explosion makes. Because the current information explosion is a singular subject and must thereby agree with a singular verb, make, mix. So it's going to be the current information explosion mix. It is not make, it is mix. So that is all for method 1. Subject verb agreement. I keep on telling you, it is something that you have to get much marks from there. Let me give you a tip. An examination of which you don't know whether this one you are supposed to correct it or not. Though you must understand the principle, but you have to also play smart. The situation whereby you don't know whether this one you have to correct it or not, correct it. Correct as many as you can. Correct as many as you can. If it is not part, they will skip it. If it is part, they will mark it for you. So correct as many as you can. I hope it makes sense. It does not necessarily mean you should be just doing anything. No, understand the principle. Look at method 2. That is rewriting method. So simple. The computer, as well as the internet and other advanced electronic devices, is, because we say the computer as well as the internet, as well is a pseudo conjunction. So it places emphasis. Pseudo conjunction says that the subject that comes before the pseudo conjunction must determine the nature of the verb. So the computer, as well as the internet and other advanced electronic devices, though it's devices, but if you don't take care, you might say, that is wrong. Because the computer comes before the pseudo conjunction. So the computer is going to determine the nature of the verb is. becoming essential in everyday life, and has. So if you don't understand the pseudo conjunction, you get the is wrong and you get has wrong. Pseudo conjunction, very powerful. It's becoming essential in everyday life and has changed the way information is gathered. How this new technology is utilized in the curriculum, in addition to its management, another pseudo conjunction, as well as in addition with, together with, in connection with. I hope it makes sense. In a company of, all of them are pseudo conjunctions. How this new technology is utilized in the curriculum, in addition to its management by teachers. Pseudo conjunction. The subject that comes before the pseudo conjunction must determine the nature of the verb. So the new technology is utilized in the curriculum, in addition to its management by teachers. Plays, because this new technology is utilized in the curriculum, so it plays an important role in the widening of the resources and knowledge base of all students. Technology affects the way many teachers teach. Not many teachers teaches, no. Affects the way many teachers, many fixed expressions. Go and look at it. Many teachers teach and students learn. To make the best use of information technology, a number of schools, fixed expression, a number of follows plural, and then the number of is singular. So a number of schools need a workable plan to fully integrate it into all aspects of the curriculum. The skill a child learns is not the skill a child learns is the important part of any lessons. Sorry, let me take my water. Sorry. The skill a child learns is the important part of any lessons, and it is the same with technology. The child no less than his or her teachers requires. The child no less than his or her teachers. The child no less than his or her teachers requires pseudo conjunction. No less than his or her teachers, pseudo conjunction. No less than his or her teachers requires to be fully informed about the capabilities of IT before being asked to use it. There are strategies for using IT to teach students. The usefulness of IT in the classroom, as with other learning tools, pseudo conjunction, depends. So the depends should have been bolded, but for one or two mistakes, it wasn't bolded. So depends on the innovation and imagination of the teacher. The next one is the current information explosion makes it. The current information explosion makes it essential that IT be used extensively within the classroom so that children know how to use it appropriately and effectively. There is, if you take your time to look through the question, you could see that all verbs that deviate from the subject are being corrected for them to match with their subject, their respective and necessary subject. That is how subject-verb agreement is done in an examination hall. So, our next discussion, we are going to solve another question, which is 2014 past question. Make sure to follow every lesson so that you'll never be left out. I have always remained as your tutor with the name Possible. Until we meet again another time, I will say bye for now. You must get maximum marks from subject-verb agreement. Bye-bye.